What is up, everybody? It's Copes here, and today I am back with another Fortnite video. In today's video, I will be ranking every single Battle Pass skin by tier from worst to best. I first did this video last season, and I'm redoing it this season. Definitely some skins have changed in my mind, and we got a few new ones, so I thought I would remake it. I'll probably make this one each season, but I'm going to be ranking every tier 1 skin from worst to best, then move on to tier 23. Tier 47, tier 71, tier 87, and then end off at tier 100. I'm putting the Black Knight at tier 100 and not tier 70 because I think he is a tier 100 skin. He's the last tier of that season, so I feel like it's only right. I also did add the Sparkle Specialist, which is tier 56, to the tier 47 category instead of adding it to the tier 71 because, I mean, 56 is closer to 47 than it is to 71. Starting out at our tier 1 skins, at my number 10 spot, I had to give it to the Mission Specialist. I really do feel like this one stands out as a pretty horrible skin in my mind. I don't like it. I don't think it really stands up to the Dark Voyager, which I actually really do like at this point. The Moonwalker is kind of the same thing in my mind. I really don't like their designs. I think it only works best with the Dark Voyager, and I feel like that should be the only astronaut skin in this game. Moving on to my number 9 spot, I had to give it to the Battlehawk. To me, the Battlehawk, it's just not a skin that should be in the Battle Pass. It should be an uncommon skin that we have an option to buy in the shop. It reminds me of a lot of other Battle Pass skins as well, and all of these different type of desert army designs, as I would like to say, are not appealing to me. Battlehawk, very plain brown color scheme. I do not like this skin. And at our number 8 spot, very similar skin, the Huntress. I feel like the Huntress and the Battlehawk, the Sledgehammer, they all have a lot in common. They're all very plain, they're all very brown, and I'm pretty sure most of them are based on army skins. I mean, the Huntress is sort of a warrior, like a hunter-gatherer warrior, as I would like to say, and not an army skin, but she definitely still looks very similar to the Battlehawk in my opinion. Very bland, very boring. I don't like it. Moving on to my number 7 spot, I had to give it to the Zenith. Zenith really doesn't deserve an explanation. I just don't like his skin. Moving on to my number 6 spot, the Carbide. The Carbide, he may have moved up a little bit higher, but I really do feel like he deserves the number 6 spot because all the skins below him are pretty horrible. I do like that Carbide actually has some color to him. The color blue looks nice on him, I would say. But he was one of the first skins ever in this game to get upgrades. I give him respect for that, but I feel like his upgrades just really don't stack up to a skin like the Ragnarok. They don't stand up to a skin like the Ice King, the Lynx. He doesn't change all that much. He just gets a little bit of armor, which I don't really think is all that appealing. His base skin, it's a little bit different than his fully upgraded skin, but not enough. Moving on to my number 5 spot, I had to give it to the Blue Squire, and I really do like the medieval theme this character does have, and I feel like no other skin in this game will replicate what the Blue Squire and the Royale Knight are. I really do like the medieval aspect to them. I really don't think they can be replicated, and if they are, I would be really disappointed because I think they are one of a kind. It's still not my favorite skin, but I am starting to like it more and more as I see new skins come out. I just realize and I recognize that no skin will be like these skins. No skin will be like the Royale Knight or the Blue Squire. Moving on to my number 4 spot, I had to give it to Calamity. I have to say one thing about her. At her base stage 1, I think she looks like a really great rare skin. And then she upgrades all the way to max. I think she looks like a great legendary skin. Not too many other skins can say that. Most skins, they look great fully upgraded. Some skins look really great unupgraded, but this skin looks great all around the board from base stage all the way up to fully upgraded and everything in between. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to DJ Yonder. I don't know exactly why I like this skin so much. Maybe it's because he's super colorful. Maybe it's because he has that llama head. I really don't know exactly what it is about him, but I really do like DJ Yonder. Moving on to my number 2 spot, I had to give it to the Lynx, guys. I feel like the Lynx is a great skin, and it's going to be a great skin for a very long time. I think she is somewhat plain Compared to Calamity, I don't think her upgrades are as insane as Calamity is. And one thing I do have to say, some of these upgrades, I'll say they come from Dyer. Dyer was the first character who, when you upgraded him to like stage 3, he was basically fully maxed out and then he started changing colors. Same with the Lynx. She's fully upgraded when you get her to that red stage, but then you can change her colors. I don't know if I like that about certain skins. I wish, you know, they gave us a certain color, maybe even allow us to change that color once she got to stage, I think it's 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Then let us change colors at stage 3 to whatever we want. Then have it be upgraded more and more to something a little bit different. I don't like maxing something out at stage 3. I want to max it out at stage 5 or stage 6. I don't want to max it out so early. That's one gripe I have with this skin. You maxed it out way too quick, and then it's kind of like, okay, I can change the colors now if I want to. Moving on to my number 1 spot, I had to give it to the Drift, guys. I really did. I feel like this is a skin that's super unique compared to every skin on this list. I absolutely love him. And even if he is somewhat of a bot skin, like I'll run into a Drift and be like, wow, free kill, thank you game, I appreciate that. But overall, I do think Drift is in a league of his own, and even if he is a bot skin, didn't really take that into consideration while making this list. It's solely based on looks and how I feel about the skins. Alright guys, we're gonna move over to the tier 23 skins. There are only 6 tier 23 skins, and one of them is actually tier 21, but you know, close enough. Starting out at my number 6 spot, I had to give it to Giddy Up. I really do think this is one of the worst skins we've gotten in the battle pass, maybe one of the worst skins all time. I do like the attempt at a kind of funny, memey skin, but overall I just didn't think it worked out. I really didn't. I don't like using it. I think it's a little bit obtrusive when you do use it. You can't see anything. You can't even function. Well, this guy's thick, llama, butt cheeks are in your face. Moving on to my number 5 spot, I had to give it to Technique. And I don't know why, but I feel like there's gonna be a ton of backlash for this one. Technique, really, you use that skin, be honest with yourself, be honest with me. If you use this skin, type it in the comments section, but if you don't, then type it in the comment section as well. Do you use the Technique or not? I really doubt it. I feel like after the season was over when Technique was first released, that was it. That was the end of Technique's era, and it should have been. I think it's boring, I think it's bland, and I think the color scheme isn't anything special. I really don't think you should use this skin. Use something a little bit better. Moving on to my number 4 spot, I had to give it to the Red Line. Overall, I do really like the Red Line as a skin. I would say our 4 through number 1 spot for tier 23 are really great skins overall. Red Line, it's just not special enough for me to put it any higher. Even if I really do love this skin, I feel like, you know, that sort of unique quality to certain skins, if I like them as well, like let's say I loved Giddy Up, I would probably put him at the number 1 spot because he is unique and I do like him at the same time. But Red Line, very sort of plain design, nothing too special about her. I have to give her the number 4 spot, guys. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to the Sergeant Winter. And at stage 2, I think he is his best. I think he's his brightest as Santa Claus. That's the stage I'm using him as. Moving on to my number 2 spot, it's actually a tier 21 skin, the Royale Knight. I think the Royale Knight is a little bit better than the Blue Squire. That's why she's a little bit higher up on this section than, let's say, the Blue Squire was. I mean, she's a little bit higher than just the middle of the list. Royale Knight overall and the Blue Squire, like I talked about earlier, I don't think there's much explanation I need to give because I already gave it earlier, but they're in a league of their own. Nothing is like them, and I don't think any skin out there will ever be like the Blue Squire and the Royale Knight. Moving on to my number 1 spot, I had to give it to the Rust Lord. And guys, this is a meme skin that I just fell in love with. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, that skin is amazing. Then everyone started to hate on it, and then everyone started to use Take the L with it, and now I feel like it's somewhere in the middle. Or maybe people love it or they hate it. I know, I love it. I love this skin. I love trolling with it. I think it's a perfect troll skin, just like the Giddy Up is, but I actually like the Rust Lord. Moving on to our tier 47 category, I did put the Sparkle Specialist in this one, but at my number 6 spot, at tier 55, the Moonwalker. This one, just like the Mission Specialist, nothing special. Moving on to my number 5 spot, the powder. Some people don't think this is an off-brand Nogops. I really do believe it is an off-brand Nogops. That is not appealing to me. The color scheme's a little bit too plain. She's a little bit too bundled up in her skiing suit to really fight anyone. She's a bot, she's trash, she's garbage, and I know I'm gonna get hate for that, but you know what, guys? I like it. Moving on to my number 4 spot, I had to give it to the Sun Strider. I feel like the Sun Strider and the Redline are very similar skins, and out of 6 skin options in their category, they're both placed at the number 4 spot, and I do believe they both should be. It's not special enough, it's not cool enough, it's not detailed enough to move any higher up on this list. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to the Zoe. I really wouldn't lose the Zoe over the Sun Strider. I would pick the Zoe any day over the Sun Strider. If I had to lose a skin, I would lose the Sun Strider. If I had to keep a skin, I would keep the Zoe, if those were my 2 options. Zoe, she's so zany, she's very vibrant with her color scheme, but overall, I love it. Moving on to my number 2 spot, I had to give it to the Fable. I do feel like the Fable is an upgraded version of the Sun Strider. She's so detailed, she has so much going on with her, and it doesn't look bad at all. The detailed skins that look amazing, and they're somewhat similar to an undetailed skin, or at least in my eyes, that's how I see it. Well, I'm going with the more detailed skin, especially if I like it just the same or even a little bit more. Moving on to my number 1 spot, the Sparkle Specialist, guys, at tier 56, but she deserves to be in this one. There's no explanation. I love the Sparkle Specialist. Still my favorite Battle Pass skin if I had to choose one. Moving on to my tier 71 picks, I did end up putting the Dark Voyager in here. He is tier 70, just like the Black Knight, but the Black Knight was the last skin in season 2, so I'm putting him in the tier 100 spot. The Dark Voyager was not the last skin, he was the 3rd to last skin. We had the Elite Agent and the John Wick as well in that Battle Pass. So if that doesn't make sense, well, it does, trust me, I know. But starting out at our tier 71 spot, at our number 5 spot, the Sledgehammer. Easily one of the worst skins, sort of like the Battlehawk and the Huntress like I talked about earlier. Don't like the design. Moving on to my number 4 spot, the Valor. This was one of those skins that I loved when I first saw it, sort of like the Zoe. But over time, it sort of dwindled away and it never got that spark back. The Zoe, I would say, definitely got a little bit of a spark back, and I do like her more now than I did early on, I would say. But Valor, I don't know. She reminds me too much of the Triceratops, and I feel like the Triceratops is just better. I know that's not a Battle Pass skin, and I know they're not very similar, but their color scheme is. I don't know why, guys, but Triceratops somehow affected the Valor, even if they're not exactly identical. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to the Trog. The Trog, another meme skin that I do enjoy. Him, Tender Defender, Fish Stick. I love all those sort of meme skins. If you want to throw Rust Lord in there as well, go for it. But Trog overall, I would say he's somewhat average in my mind, and I think he's a good number 3 spot. Moving on to my number 2 spot, the Dark Voyager at tier 70, but tier 71 category, whatever, cry in the comments section. Dark Voyager, definitely a dope skin that, you know, I've been throwing shade at for a long time, but I don't feel like I should. Dark Voyager, still a great skin, and even if he's kind of ruined in my eyes by the Moonwalker and the Mission Specialist, I'm trying to look past that a little bit, but I really do think he is ruined a little bit in my mind by those 2 skins because there's so many of them. And then we have the Dark Vanguard. We have so many other skins that look similar to these types of skins. It's kind of, whatever, I'm done talking about it. Moving on to my number 1 spot for tier 71, the Dusk. And I don't know why I like the vampire skin so much. I like Sanctum, I like the Dusk. For some reason, I just like them. They sort of remind me of the Gold Trooper because the Gold Trooper does have a different skin color. Even if their skin color is sort of like whitish purple and not like a green that really stands out, I still like that about them. Moving on to our tier 87 picks, at my number 5 spot, I had to give it to the Squad Leader. Easily one of the worst and most bland skins we've gotten this late in a Battle Pass. I was honestly astonished when I saw this was tier 87. I couldn't believe it. No one in their right mind actually uses this skin, and you're lying if you say you do. I've never, ever seen it, ever in my whole life. Moving on to my number 4 spot, the Nightshade. This one is honestly terrible as well. I rarely see people using this one. I feel like it sort of reminds me of the Fate. I mean, you know that there's a tomato head in there, but you can't see it from the back when you're actually using the skin. I wish it wasn't hooded. That would make the skin a lot better. Have the same design all around, have the hood hanging down, but don't have the hood up. I really feel like this hurts the skin more than it helps it. Nightshade, you deserve the number 4 spot. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to the Rook. I really think the Rook is sort of like the elite agent, but just a little bit worse. I think the Rook is a great skin, even if it's just sort of like a ripoff of the elite agent. Moving on to my number 2 spot, guys, and this was honestly tough. I thought I could have taken the number 1 spot, but it didn't. The Onesie. The Onesie is a great, unique skin that I love. I love the hooded character on this one. I don't know why, but the Bunny Brawler, I love it for being a hooded character. The Onesie, I love it for being a hooded character. Maybe it's because it's something unique, unlike the Nightshade, which is just plain. It's sort of boring. It has a very boring color scheme as well. The Onesie, it's sort of like the Jack Gordon. It has a bunch of different like hamburgers on it. The Jack Gordon has a bunch of pumpkins on him. I like that about her. Overall, a great skin that I still love, and I'm probably going to love it for a very long time. Guys, moving on to my number 1 spot, the Elite Agent. Easily the best, one of the best Battle Pass skins. I would put it at my number 2 spot still. I think it's amazing. I still love using it, especially if I'm going try hard. Moving on to my tier 100, guys, and I'm not happy about, talking about this. I'm really not. I know it's gonna just be just a barrage of comments in the comments section, just belittling me, saying just the meanest words in existence, words I've never even heard of before. But at my number 6 spot, guys, I had to give it to Omega. I do think he is the worst. He doesn't really compare. He doesn't compare to any of these skins above him. He really doesn't. At my number 5 spot, the Ragnarok. I think the Ragnarok is amazing at his final stage, his fully upgraded stage, but his base stage, it's pretty bad, I would say. I mean, would I buy it if it was in the item shop? Would I like it? Probably not. Moving on to my number 4 spot, I had to give it to the Ice King. The Ice King overall, I really don't like how he's maxed out at his base stage. I think that's kind of bogus. I mean, you get him fully upgraded, that's it. And then you can change his colors a little bit. Woo! I will be honest though, I do like his last stage gold color the most, and I just recently got it. Moving on to my number 3 spot, the John Wick. I think the John Wick is in a league of his own. I've always thought this. He's so cool and unique, even though he just looks like a regular human being. I don't know how they did that, but that's so cool to me. He looks like a regular person, but he's still super unique in Fortnite. I don't know why, guys, but I really like that about him. John Wick, iconic, much love. Moving on to my number 2 spot, I had to give it to the Dyer. Overall, I think the Dyer is so unique. He's not actually like a regular person inside of a costume. He's actually a werewolf, and I love that about him. I hope they do that more. I don't know why they don't. Why can't they do that? Why do they have to put a character inside a suit? It just doesn't make sense. But Dyer, definitely something I hope we see more of, and something I hope we don't see less of. Moving on to my number 1 spot at tier 70, the Black Knight. I know, tier 70. He should be at tier 70. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, guys. Black Knight, easily the best tier 100 skin. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I'm playing it safe. But I really do think the Black Knight, he's just better. He really is. The more upgrades we get, the more skins we get. I feel like the tier 100 skin for the Black Knight, he's just the best. He easily is. The last stage skin you get, the Black Knight, he's just in a league of his own. He really is. I know I've said that a lot, but Black Knight compared to Dyer, John Wick, Ice King, Ragnarok, Omega, I just don't think they compare. And the more skins that come in as tier 100, the higher up on a pedestal I put the Black Knight. We'll see if he's ever able to be taken down. I really hope he is. We'll see though. It would have to be a perfect skin. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.